Hey, I'm Dagny. Let's talk about how to create digital content for Africa by Africa. I'm loving all of the content, spectrum of content that's coming up across Africa. Also, the increased interest that is now like on a global scale, from support to investing to collaborating. It's all amazing. I'm here to help you leverage all of that. So the way I've organized in this video is, one, I'm going to speak to what your overall strategy looks like, which of course is from original traditional marketing, but has already been translated for the digital space. And then I'm going to break it down for, one, influencers and personal brands that are based in Africa, or at least are focused on Africa, and for businesses and brands that are either small, medium, or large, that are also based on the continent, or you're interested in tapping into the African market. Okay, your overall strategy, and yes, do feel free to take some notes. So the overall strategy that you need to pay attention to when you are trying to create your brand online. You need your story, your goal, your target audience, your competition, and the channels/platforms that you're going to focus on. Now let me break that down for influencers or personal brands. First and foremost, your story needs to be authentic to you. Usually people ask questions in terms of to get you thinking about what your story should be. Usually people go about it talking about or looking to what they have overcome, what they can teach somebody about, what can they solve a problem with, or what brings them joy that they want to share publicly. Your story is the most important aspect of the strategy, because that is what's going to align everything else and be the source, or like the nucleus for why everything else that you're doing makes sense. Next is the goal. Is like there's a means to an end. You're building this community to take them somewhere. That's how you got to see it. So it's not so much that you need to sell them something, but you do need to convert them into something. And the goal does not have to be just one thing, but if you're just starting out, make it be one thing. It's possible you just want to grow a loyal community that really, when you say something, you are heard. That's fine. That's totally fine. And that's actually the best first step, because that means now that you are heard, you can go on to the next goal of what do you want them to listen to. Next, your target audience. To create this imaginary person that is supposed to be your favorite client, or your favorite customer, or your favorite community member. And you're supposed to give them a name, an age, what they look like, what do they like to do during their day, what problems do they have, how can you solve them, all of that. Now, that is useful to try and gauge, okay, so what do I offer? But I also found that that sort of methodology can be somewhat limiting. So what I would suggest, build or imagine what lifestyle or mindset would your community strive to adhere to or strive to be a part of? And how does that correlate or connect to the content you're putting out? Your content is targeting everyone who enjoys travel, which can either be people who actually go to travel, people who love to live vicariously through those who like to travel, and people who just enjoy watching other people's lives. Those don't necessarily fit in certain age groups, certain gender groups. With your target audience, pay attention more to what feeling, what experience are you trying to bring, and what type of people would be attracted to that experience. Competition. I don't mean like cutthroat, who do you need to cut down so you have space, right? There's more than enough space for everyone on the internet. Do your own market research. That's what all these hashtags are for. So let's say you want to do style content for this particular brand. You search the hashtag for that brand and who's tagging that brand, and look at what other people are doing. What type of posts are they doing? What type of engagement do those posts get? What type of posts does the brand share or repost or pay for? Take note of that. It doesn't mean you're going to copy it verbatim, but take note of what is working and what isn't. That helps you to see, where's the void that I can fill? It's not so much that you're looking to copy them. It's not so much that you are comparing yourself. It's more of what is out there, what is trending, how are people doing this, and what actually works. And how can I do it better? How can I put my spin on it? Then finally, your platform and channels. I would suggest that getting your name or handle on every social media platform that is widely used doesn't hurt, especially since for the majority of them, it's free to do. So you might as well just get it, sit it down, so at least you have a uniform across online, you have a uniform name that when it's typed in, everything comes up at once instead of using different names. Now, this is also ties in with your market research. Understanding how does your story translate on these different platforms and which one is most authentic and works the best for you. You will need to experiment with all of them to find out what works for you. Let's talk about businesses. Your story needs to speak more to loyalty to your customer and vice versa, and usefulness in terms of whatever you're providing, how reliable is it? Now, obviously, your goal would be, okay, you're making a profit. In addition to your goal, which is why you are taking the time to have a digital or an online presence, is that you're building on that customer loyalty. You are the go-to product or the go-to expert in your industry. And this is where you can utilize storytelling to sell. The mini lesson in that is one, you tell your customer the world they're living in now. You describe what they're going through right now. Then you tell them what could change that. And then describe what their world would be like if they had what you provide in their life. You need to try your best to not look like an ad. Consumer behavior is evolving rapidly, just as much as technology is evolving, right? And everybody is so used to blocking ads or dismissing them that a lot of your content will be not seen if it looks like an ad. This is where sponsored posts and collaborating with content creators, influencers, and things like that come into play so that your content still has that storytelling lifestyle feel while still effectively fulfilling your bottom line. So let's do an example. Let's say your product is mosquito repellent. This is what your typical ad would look like. Hey, hello, how are you? Yes, there's so many mosquitoes out here. Sorry, it's something on, but I guess it's not really working. Ah, that's the problem. You need to use this. It helps to kill mosquitoes. Thank you. I'm so happy now I can kill mosquitoes. Let's translate that, the exact same product. Let's translate it for 2020. Mosquito, if I were you, I would respect myself. If I were you, I would think before I bite. Do you see the difference? It's the exact same product, and technically you're saying the exact same thing in both. But one of them really reminds everybody that it possibly created on Windows 95. And you see how the second one seamlessly blends in and stands out with any other content that your potential customer could be looking at online. By the time the person realizes it's an advertisement, one, you've already gotten enough eyeball time to get that whatever revenue the ad is supposed to get out of. And also, because it was clever, the person would remember it. Like they're not mad, right? Because it's like, actually, that was funny. I like that. That was funny. You know what? I do need some mosquito repellent. Now, let's say your business is you, all right? And you want to provide, and it's more service-based. You want to be a consultant, things like that. Let me give you an example of the way not to promote yourself. One of my clients, just called me saying, sharing the news that they just closed on a $10 million deal. And they asked me, how do I do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I know what I know? And, I shared them a story that I don't think I really shared with many people. So I decided, why not share it with you? Last year, I was in debt. I was living in my dad's garage in a shoebox. This year, I'm living my best life. I mean, look at my cars. Look at my clothes. Look at all my men. And during these trying times, I felt the need to share more of my story and my tools that I use to go from broke to the opposite of broke. So what I told my client is it's all about, you gotta be ready so you don't have to get ready. So go ahead and click that button below to sign up for and register for my masterclass. The first time ever, I am charging only $32.99, but that's only within the next 5 minutes of watching this video. After that, it's going to go back up to my regular price of $2,999. Why should you sign up, you say? Okay, well, first of all, it's me. I've already showed you. It just boggles my mind that people now in this era that we're in are still working for other people to make money. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's more than enough money to just fall into your lap. You know what I'm saying? You just need to know how to position yourself to catch it when it falls. So go ahead and press that button. And just because you've watched this video up to this point, I'm going to also add a bonus. So when you register, you're also going to receive my ebook on how to make money in your sleep without thinking or breathing. And I want all of us to be living our best life, So go ahead, click and register, and I'll see you in the masterclass. The second one, though, again, seamlessly goes along with whatever other content you have on there, feels more authentic, and you already come across as trustworthy. Exactly. I think the biggest mix match happens is that how to utilize the content and how to maximize the analytics behind it gets lost. Because from the outside looking in, it looks very simple to take a pretty photo and post it. So for businesses, I would suggest that one, there's a whole lot you can learn on your own for sure. If you have the budget though, I would suggest definitely get yourself an actual digital marketing strategist on your team, because they would be able to translate a lot of this so you actually get the results you want. Finally, for both influencers, businesses, everybody, there is more than enough room for all of us online. The point of being, or at least truly being proactive in the type of online persona or online space that you create for yourself, is that you really are positioning your voice and the value of your voice. And the bigger thing though, which is unique for Africa right now, across Africa, you need to pay attention to implementing it in a way that truly aligns with the country you are in. Be open to the opportunities. Because the thing is that when you're online, you're not limited. The whole market data is still it's an infant. It's still very much an infant, like it's a baby right now, right? And that's what everybody would love to have. So you really are positioning yourself for these opportunities that would never come up trying to apply to online, that you can be a part of if you align your online presence accordingly. Biggest thing to remember, it takes time. The deal of going viral overnight from posting one thing is rare. All of this helps you to be ready for your viral moment. Overall, having a digital presence really expands your reach and your potential. I hope you found these tips helpful. Make sure you go to dagnyzenovia.com where I will elaborate further and give a bit more examples on how you can implement this digital strategy for your brand, business, or even just personal account. Comment below if you have any questions about this topic in terms of positioning your brand or your business let's also do some market research of our own. Share with me who is your favorite influencer that is based on the continent. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I'll see you next time.